so not a big deal. Uh, so I'm going to show you my camping spot here out in the Coco Nino National Forest on the Mogollon Rim. There's the road right up there, and I'm at a spot back on the road a little ways. There's a sign that says logging ahead. Well, you can see that all these ponderosa pine trees have been marked for logging. I'm assuming they do that in the summertime here in Arizona, but I don't know that for sure. Anyway, so here's a van, campfire, the straw box that I use for gathering kindling. And now we're going to avoid these little boulders and stuff. There's a little, whoop, there goes the car. That car has been going back and forth here. I don't know if they're looking for a campsite or what. There's the van. Solar's all full. I went for a walk today and picked up about a half a can of garbage to get some steps on. I worked my way off of down the road here without tripping over any of these rocks. And I'm watching the rocks in my feet, not the camera. So you could park up there where I'm at and come out here, pitch a tent, and build a fire. I'm assuming that's what somebody did. It's not very flat, but I got my chair and tripod all set up. So let me sit down here, put the phone away. Actually, I'm put the phone on a tripod here so I can sit down because my knees and back hurt. This old man stuff, you know. Get my drink here. Oh. Little beverage for the lubricate my throat. Anyway, so here is what the Mogollon Rim looks like. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So, a couple of trees right in front of this little view here, but and it's late in the day, so the valley's starting to get into some shade. But this is all part of the Colorado Plateau here, where I'm at, and the valley is a valley running down into, I'm not sure what river it is. Let me pick this up and walk you over here to get a better view of those rocks. A little outcropping over there. And if I walk further down here, whoop, gotta watch my feet. Gotta watch my feet. There's another rock outcropping way down there. Some trees over here. You can see all that. And way out there on top of that hill, I'm not really sure where that may be. But anyhow, that's the rim. There goes a truck up on the road. We'll walk back to my fire ring here. There's actually 2 fire rings here. Somebody didn't like that one, so they built another one. And they throw good firewood out of the fire because it's burned. Well, you can't use that, it's burned. I am surprised, though. I am surprised that in my camping up here in the forest that I haven't really seen much. Don't get me wrong, I've seen stupidity. but there's not as much trash as I thought um, that I was going to find. I mean, I picked up a trash bag when I was camped the other day off of Lake Mary Road, and I picked up a Walmart bag size today of trash, and mostly it's just little tiny things, so on and so forth. But anyway, so I'm going to be up here on the rim. I'm going to explore from where he 260, and I believe that is an Arizona route number, comes up out of Payson. I'm sorry, 87 comes out of Payson, goes through Pine and Strawberry, and then 87 heads up the road and meets 260, and 260 takes off and goes over to Valley Verde, and just after that, um, you are basically up on top of the Colorado Plateau, or even before that, before you even meet 260, you're up on top of the Colorado Plateau. Look that up, and um, uh, then 260 goes. Well, I don't have the map in front of me now, but 260 goes over to Valley Verde to the west, and to the east, I believe it heads over to I don't know, either Holbrook or Winslow, somewhere up that way. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't think it goes over to Show Low. Maybe it does. It does go to Show Low. I'm sorry. It goes to Show Low, Show Low, Arizona. And over in that direction is US 60. I came in out of New Mexico through US 60. So and then came into Show Low and spent some time there, and I've been bouncing around here after coming back from Texas. Anyway, so I am going to navigate this part of the rim. There's a Forest Road 300, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to do this video. Forest Road 300 is part of a historic road that was made by General Crook from Civil War times. He was a famous Civil War general, famous, infamous, whatever. And he was actually from, well, I read it and I can't remember. It was either Ohio or Michigan. Anyway, well, I am flabbergasted. I don't know that. Anyway, sorry. Just looking at something that popped up on my phone. So General Crook, after the war, and before the war, he was stationed out west, and he had quite a rapport with Native Americans and a lot of exploring in the Pacific Northwest and in here. At the time, the deal about this Forest Road 300 is it more or less follows the route General Crook had to supply, was in charge of bringing supplies in or finding a way to get supplies to come into some of the forts in the Arizona area here because of the Apache uprising, I believe. And he was eventually replaced from that. You can see that in several Hollywood movies talk about that. But he served out west for quite a long time after the war, until basically right before he passed away, to the best of my knowledge. Again, I'm sprouting history from memory after reading an article. But anyway, so General Crook had to bring supplies from, I can't remember where, but he had to come across all this forest, all these valleys to get to Fort Verde, Fort Verde and Camp Verde in the Verde Valley where Cottonwood is, and other surrounding forts around here. He brought the supplies through the forest, so he was in charge of building a road and making a trail. And that's what Forest Road 300 supposedly does. And it goes across this rim, uh, Forest Road 300 does. And when you get down into uh, uh, Camp Verde, which is the name of the town for Fort Verde after the fort closed, everything down there has a lot of named after General Crook. So anyhow, um, I am going to be up here for uh, it's today Saturday. I had that screwed up earlier this week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and either Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going back down into uh, the Phoenix area because on Thursday, my granddaughter Ariana is graduating from college, and I'm going to go to the graduation ceremony and be there for that. So, uh, and then the next day, I am taking off to head for Michigan. I'm going to go to my daughter's house up by Grand Rapids and spend, I think, a little over a week there. I'd have to look at my calendar to make sure to arrive there for another graduation. My grandson is graduating his last concert of his high school career and his birthday and graduation, which happened on the same day. Uh, so that will be about the middle of May, and I will be leaving here on leaving Tucson on the 24th. So that gives me 13 and 7. That gives me about 20 days, almost 3 weeks to get to Michigan. I'm going to be going up through, I believe, Show Low on the other end of the rim again. And because my plans for this week here up until Tuesday is I'm going to take this, the road I'm on now isn't 300, but it meets 300. And I'm going to go out to 300, and 300 goes all the way around the rim, all the way to where the highway cuts up over out of Payson and goes over to Show Low and gets up on top of the rim again. And so I'm going to spend these 3 or 4 days going across here. And then when I leave Phoenix on the 24th, I'm going to go up the hill over to Show Low somewhere area, and I'm either going to come out through to Winslow, Arizona, or Holbrook to eventually get to Gallup, and then I'm going to in New Mexico, and I'm going to go to try and go to Chaco Canyon National Historic Park. I think that's the right name for it. It's the one of the only parks I haven't been to in New Mexico yet, national parks. And then from Chaco Canyon, I'm going to go back, or I'm going to head north and go up through Pagosa Springs, Colorado, and go up the Wolf Creek Pass. I'm going to go over the hill at Wolf Creek Pass and work my way back down towards south of the Denver area. I don't really know if I'm stopping in the Denver area. I don't like driving in cities, and Denver is a city for a long ways. It's a city. So I may just skirt the suburbia of Denver, make my way across Kansas, Kansas, and I believe, I don't have the map in front of me. Kansas over towards, I'm going to go north of St. Louis and end up being in the Champaign, Illinois area before I start heading north up to Michigan. I absolutely detest driving in cities, so I'm going to avoid those like the plague. I'm not going through St. Louis. I'm not going through Indianapolis. I'm not going through Chicago or Peoria or any of them other cities following the Interstate 80 corridor. Even 70 goes through some major cities I don't like. But anyway, I'm going to be going across that direction, more or less, through Kansas. I can't remember my geography now. Kansas, Missouri? I don't think so. I think Missouri is too far south. Kansas. Anyway. And then to arrive home on June the 1st. June the 1st. So I'm going to show you a little geography here. Now that the sun is getting low enough, there is some shadows starting to show, and you can see the topography of the hills and things down below. So I'm going to switch this around here and point down that way and zoom this in a little bit. And once we get past these pine trees, the ponderosas, you start to see some of the shadows out there in the valley. Guess I shouldn't have zoomed out again. Yeah, there it looks like almost a butte way out there, or a mesa. It's like flat on top, the shadow around it. Now it's real smoky here because of fire, but it's not forest fire. Well, it is kind of in a way. There is over in Apache Sitgreaves National Forest, there is some prescribed burning going on over there just outside of Show Low. So all that smoke is, I mean, it was going for, when I got up here yesterday, it was already there, and I looked out through the valley, and why is all this smoke here? Well, it's a prescribed burn. So anyway, that's about 17 minutes worth of talking. I will let you go. Nobody's come on the live. I don't know if I had the settings wrong or not. So I'm going to, while nobody's on, I'm going to touch this button. Chat filter, community moderation, automatic transfer. Oh, it's not that. What is this button for? Oh, it's for stupid games. All right. 18 minutes. Adios. See if I know how to make this stop.